matter experts in project management, and he will talk to you about Agile certifications in PMI. Ahmed?
Thank you, Lahiro, for introduction. So today we'll talk about disciplined Agile, choose your way or the way of working. So today we'll talk about what is the history and the definition of disciplined Agile, the introduction. How is disciplined Agile architect? So what is the mindset, the flow, people involved, and the processes it's cover. And then the most important part, we'll talk about the 5 different certificates that the PMI is offering. And then we'll have time for Q&A session at the end. Just a snapshot about myself, I have 20 years of experience in managing programs and projects, working as a project management instructor, and I'm honored to be one of the instructors at SEAT. I have a bachelor degree in civil engineering and a postgraduate certificate in PM, and currently volunteering as a vice president for AEC Chinook section in Calgary and EVP professional development with PMI CC, co-chair for the PMI Professional Development Conference, which is happening in 2 weeks here in Calgary, and member of the Standard Consensus Committee with the PMI Global. Certificates-wise, I'm PMP certified and ECB, and certified as a Scrum Master and Senior Scrum Master from PMI, and some other more certificates, so I don't want to waste your time for this. So today we'll talk about mainly those certificates and how we can earn the PMI ECP and Agile Scrum Master and Senior Scrum Master certifications. So let's go directly for our topic for today. So what is disciplined Agile? Disciplined Agile is not a framework. It's rather as a toolkit, which can provide you with some straightforward guidance, which can help you as a project manager or a Scrum Master. You help your team, help your organization to streamline your processes in a context-sensitive manner. So there is no one way fit all. It's based on what is your current context. Now you can tailor or scale your Agile tools and toolkit. So disciplined Agile helps you choose your way of working for whatever unique situation you find yourself in. So whatever your current type of projects, it will not prescribe you have to do this, but it gives you many options, and you can select which option is much more appropriate for your unique situation. So it will show you how to effectively combine strategies from different other approaches like Scrum, Agile modeling, XP, Kanban, Agile data, and Scale Agile framework, and other approaches and it can give you the guidance how to tailor those strategies in order to best benefit your current product or project. And if you are working in a program and you need to scale up your current strategies, it's also as flexible for this. In other words, it gives you freedom. And the end result will be your true business agility, which you are looking for. As a timeline for disciplined Agile, it first has been created in IBM organization back in 2009, but it was introduced to public in 2012. In 2014, we have the second version of the disciplined Agile, which included the DevOps. 2015, they added the disciplined Agile IT. 2017, they make it for the disciplined Agile Enterprise. So now it will cover all the enterprise aspects of work. In PMI in 2019 has purchased disciplined Agile, and now it has been branded under PMI. And in 2020, PMI integrated Flex, which is the flow for enterprise transformation within the disciplined Agile. So that was the history since the disciplined Agile started in 2009 until has been acquired by PMI. So next point will cover the disciplined Agile architecture. How did it disciplined Agile architect? Disciplined Agile toolkit is architected into 4 different views. First one is the mindset. The disciplined Agile mindset includes some principles, promises, and guidelines. And we'll talk about a snapshot about them in the next slides. Also, as we said, the disciplined Agile flow, it is not prescribed one specific life cycle and you have to follow. It gives you options. So disciplined Agile support 6 different life cycles. You can choose which one is most appropriate for your current context. For people, we have some primary rules. We'll talk about them, and then some supporting rules. in practices, we have 21 process goals. Each process goal has some decision points, and each decision point can have one or more options. By September, end of September, PMI makes some update for the process goals, and now we have currently 24 process goals. But for the exam, it will be still based on the 21 process goals until next update. So as we said, the mindset has some principles, promises, and guidelines. For today, just for the time's sake, we'll talk only about the principles. So for Discipline Agile, we believe in those principles. Delight customers. We don't only need to have satisfied customers, we are looking for have a delighted customers. Be awesome. I think every one of us would like to be an awesome person, working in an awesome team, for an awesome organization, for an awesome project. Context counts, so we have to consider what is the current context of our project, and based on that, we can decide which are the options that we have to use. Be pragmatic. Choice is good, so we have different choices we can choose from. We have to optimize our flow, and then we have to organize around products and service. So we have to our main focus is our products and service. And we have to bear outside around our enterprise. So we have to be aware what is other team working in our same organization, or what is their current situation now. So we're not working in silos, but we have to consider working as a team within the enterprise. So these are the mindsets. Discipline Agile has 6 different life cycles, and it gives you the option to select which life cycle you would like to work for it. So we have the Agile life cycle, and continuous delivery Agile, lean life cycle, continuous delivery lean life cycle, exploratory life cycle, and program life cycle. I will just talk about first the Agile life cycle because there is no time to cover the 6 life cycles. So this is the life cycle for the Scrum-based life cycle or the Discipline Agile life cycle. You can see here that we have 3 different phases: inception, construction, and transition. Each phase has some key dates or key milestone, and key outputs. We have some inputs here, and we have some outputs. Now you can see you are familiar with the iteration or the sprint, daily work, iteration backlog or the product backlog, work item. So this is how we can do the Agile Scrum life cycle. If you are going for continuous delivery life cycle, you can see now the team now is more familiar with the Agile, and we can go for a continuous delivery. It's almost the same, but there is no inception phase here, and there is no transition phase at the end. So it's only construction. Sorry, I'm sorry about this. Construction life cycle, construction phase. And you can see here for Kanban-based life cycle, for lean life cycle, we have the 3 phases. And as the same, you will find for the continuous delivery life cycle, we have only 1 construction life cycle. The exploratory life cycle, it's whenever you don't have a clear scope about your product or your project, and you would like to go for exploration. So now you can get your initial idea.
Right.
Right question?
Catherine Fish grew as big as people.
Can you mute your mics, please, everybody? We're getting some disturbances here.
Okay, so now once you get,
yeah.
Thank you, Mohammed. For envisions, we have some, you can get some hypotheses. You can build a little which is called the minimum viable product. We can deploy it, test it, observe and measure. If it's given a proven idea, we can go for production. We can use one of the other 5 life cycle. If it's this proven idea, we can drop and we can do it back again for the envision. So this is for the exploratory lean life cycle. And if you have a program and you would like to scale your life cycle, you're working with many teams, you can go for the team of team life cycle. Again, as I said, it's very limited time for 30 minutes. So just I give you just the concept about the Discipline Agile, and we'll focus about the certificate at the end. People who have some primary roles. So team lead, which is like a Scrum Master for the Scrum coach. product owner, team member, or the development team members. And we have the architecture owner. So these are the team roles. We have other stakeholders like end users, either direct end users or indirect end users, or anyone who is using the product. In some case, if the required experience is not available with your team roles, you can ask for some supporting experts, like some people specialist in subject matter expert, or an independent tester, domain expert, technical expert, or an integrator. So you can ask the supporting from other outside your team. For practices, as we said, that until this moment, until last September, we have 21 process goals. So in the inception phase, we have those 8 process goals. So you have to form your team and then align with the enterprise direction, explore your scope, identify architecture strategy, plan the release, develop your test strategy, and so on. In construction, we have 5 process goals, and in transition, we have only 2. Also, we have an ongoing phase. Currently, they have 6, but it will be expanded to 9 process goals in the next version, which is starting from the start of your project until the end of your project. Now, for each process goal, if you expand it, you have some decision point. So when you are forming your team, you will have some decision points which from where you can get your team, the source of the team, how you can evolve your team strategy, what is the size of your team, the structure of your team. So these are the decision points. For each decision point of those, you will find some options. Again, Discipline Agile will not force you to use one of those options. It will give you the options and give you the freedom to choose which one of those options will best benefit your project. And for each of one of these options, if you have the choose your way of working book, if you are a member of PMI, you can download this book for free as a member. And for this book will describe all the 21 process goals, and you have some tables like those. What is the options and what is the trade-offs of each option? So now we can make your decision based on some criteria and what is the trade-off, what will be benefit your current project. So that was the only thing about the Discipline Agile as an introduction and what you can expect you can find from the Discipline Agile. For certifications, do you have any questions until this point about Discipline Agile before we go to the certifications?
Does anybody have questions? I think we are good. Looks like
Okay,
no
good.
question. Yeah.
So let's move on for the certifications. PMI currently offer 5 different certifications for the Agile and Discipline Agile. I think everyone might be aware about the PMI Agile Certified Practitioner, the PMI ACP, which was one of the old certificates in PMI, before PMI introducing the other 4 certificates after the acquisition of the Discipline Agile. So as an entry level, the first certificate, the Discipline Agile Scrum Master, is considered as an entry level. It does not require any Agile experience, but you have to go for a course, either a self-paced course or a 2-day training course with an instructor, and then passing an exam. So this will be your entry level if you are new to Agile or you don't have any experience about Agile. If you are more experienced, you can go for the Agile Certified Practitioner, which required a minimum of 1 year of general project experience, plus 8 months of Agile experience. Then you can go for 21 hours of training, any training of Agile. So either with an approved training provider from PMI, if you are studying in the university and you take some Agile courses, or for another organization which has some Agile courses, it is accepted by PMI, and then you can pass an exam. For Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master, you need to have 2 years of Agile experience. You have to go for a 2-day training course and then passing the exam. In August and September in 2021, just 3 or 4 months ago, PMI introduced the final version of the Discipline Agile Value Stream Consultant and the Discipline Agile Coach. So in September and August this year. Both of them require 3 years of experience, while the value stream consultant requires 3 years of general Agile experience. The discipline Agile coaching required 3 years of Agile coaching experience. So you have to be working as an Agile coach for 3 years. You have to be certified as a DA SSM before you apply for any one of those certificates. Again, go for a training for 2 or 3 days and then passing your exam. Okay, so this is the same for the table. Now, this is a different comparison between the 5 different certificates. For the PMI ACB, do I need to take a course from an approved training provider? No. I need to have a 21 hours of general Agile training. It could be from an ATP or from another approved source. While for the other 4 certificates, yes, I need to take a course, my course, from an approved training provider by PMI. Course cost for PMI ACB, it is not applicable because you can take any course from outside. But for ATPs, it's vary from one ATP provider to another. So you have to go and check what is the available costs. For exam structure, ACB is 120 MCQ questions for 3 hours. While for now, DACM and DASSM is 50 MCQs in 1.5 hours. The exam structure for both DA, VSC, and Discipline Agile coaching is not clear yet because it just has been introduced 2 months ago. So it's not clear yet. Exam costs for PMI ACB, it's $435 if you are a member, $495 if you are not member. While for other Discipline Agile certificate, the exam cost is included in your course cost. So when you are paying for the approved training provider, you are paying the exam cost included in the course cost itself, only for the first attempt of your exam. Time limitation, once your application is approved by ACB, you can have 1 year to go for your exam. But for other Discipline Agile, you have only 60 days. Once you complete your course, the instructor will send your information to PMI. You will receive a link to schedule your course. So you have your exam. You have 60 days to go for your first attempt within the 60 days. If the 60 days expired before you are going for your exam, you have to retake again the course again. Okay, what happened if you did not pass from the first attempt? Can I make a retake? Yes, you can. There is 2 another attempts within the same 60 days. So now you have to manage your time. Let's say you can go for your first attempt after 45 days. So you can still have 15 days for go for the second or the third attempt. But you have to pay an additional $150 for each attempt for retaking the cost of the exam. Once you has been certified, your renewal will be 3 years, 30 BDUs for the ACB. But for other certificates, the renewal cycle is every year, and you have to make 7 BDUs for each certificate. Your renewal cost will be $60 if you are a member, $150 if you are not member for PMI ACB. For DACM and DASSM, it's $20 if you are a member and $50 if not member. And currently it stays the same for member and non-member for the DA, VCSC, and DAC. Currently there is no renewal cycle because the first batch has been introduced 2 months ago. So we are waiting for the next year to see if PMI will reduce the price for members. So that was all about the certification. So it's open now for questions.
It's time for questions. You can either type your question in the chat line, or if you like to ask the question directly from Ahmed, that's okay as well.
And I would like to add that currently SATE as an approved training provider by PMI, and now in the process of introducing the DASCM certificate and DASSM certificate, so the Scrum Master and the Senior Scrum Master certificates. And I believe they are making an offer 10% discount if you are attending this symposium today.
Any questions? to Ahmed. So I think it's a good overview, lots of details, thank you. I didn't know about all this, how it is all going to work. And so thank you for shedding light into that area of, discipline agile and what kind of certifications are available and what's the process we go through to get certified. If there are no additional questions, I think we can adjourn the session. Let's see whether there's any questions coming. So my question, I have one question.
Sure.
How do you see the industry? Where are they considering it, and what are the opportunities once you have any of these levels of certifications? What's the appetite in the industry for that?
Yeah, that's a very great question. Thank you. I can see now that some organizations working are moving towards Agile. So we have one of our clients now in SET, which is working in a waterfall, and they reach out to us and he would like to train their staff for moving to Agile, because he found that working in the waterfall way, I know waterfall, I am a waterfall person and I'm working all my life in waterfall. So I agree, it works better in some type of projects, but it is not the best way for other projects. So you have to understand what is your context and which approach or methodology work best for your current situation. So I found now, due to the continuous change about now the industries and the fast development of solutions and digitalization. So I think some of the organizations now are shifting toward or transforming towards Agile. So I think now it's one of the best way to be updated, get your credentials, update yourself, continuous learning, and know what about Agile. How can Agile help you in your current situation? And what I can see, either SET or PMI is offering some good courses in Agile, which can help organizations and individuals to develop themselves and find the best way for them to work on current projects.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, it looks like no other questions. So thank you very much for sharing your expertise with us, Ahmed. We really appreciate it. On behalf of SET also, I'd like to thank you for sharing your experience and the time you spent explaining all this to us. And I'd like to thank the participants as well to making this session a successful one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thanks, everyone.